Hey friends, it's Carrie from Stretch Chi. We're getting a little out of our stretching routine today to talk a little bit about living a rich and full life. So I'm going to tell you 3 things that you need to avoid to make sure that you're really accepting the richness and fullness of life. And this brings me into a really awesome announcement about a book club that's coming up. So check it out. Stick around. I'll tell you all about it at the end. Okay, the first thing you need to avoid is not being willing to ask for help. Advice comes in a lot of different ways. Some people really benefit from talking to spirit guides, angels, looking for synchronicities, praying, finding different ways to connect spiritually. But also, what's really interesting is that you can have a spiritual experience or get spiritual advice from someone who's not a spiritual person in your mind, right? Like sometimes I get really amazing spiritual advice from people I'm talking to, from the dentist, from the person on the train, from a client who came in, from somebody who's just willing to share their experience. Now, in my opinion, spiritual advice doesn't have to be advice that leads you towards whether or not you go to heaven or hell or, how you feel about God. It doesn't have to be that. To me, spiritual advice is any advice that helps you to become closer to your true, authentic self and experience the fullest life that you can. That's what feeds your soul. And so just like your doctor gives you medical advice to help your body, or just like I might give you advice to help your muscles, or just like somebody may give you advice on how to put on makeup, spiritual teachers come in all different ways. And they might not even be very great people. They might just give you a really interesting little tidbit, a little snippet that makes you go, huh? And then changes the way that you react to things or how you live your life. So be willing to accept advice, especially spiritual advice, from all different areas. Number 2, the second thing you need to avoid if you really want to live a rich and full life is not stopping to smell the flowers. Sometimes we forget to slow down. Life happens around us if we slow down enough to see it. So stop, smell the flowers, be a little naive about life, explore, have adventures, get your feet a little dirty, go out in the woods, find some childlike adventure in your life. The world is so rich and full in itself that if you go out and then absorb the energy of the earth and make use of the playfulness that is happening around you, it'll be really hard for you to not be in the present moment. And when we can be in the present moment, then we're really awake. We're really alive. We're really aware of the richness and fullness of life that's around us. And it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the winter or if it's in the middle of the summer. Life is life. It's building, it's growing, it's beautiful, it's sensual. There's all sorts of richness and fullness just out in nature. And when you can see what's outside of you, there's no way you can't absorb it and put it inside of you. So take the time to slow down so that you're not feeling the rushed, anxious, nasty part of the world. Turn off the news. You don't need that in your inner being. So if you want to lead a really rich and full life, you need to absorb the richness and fullness and the happiness that is outside of you all the time. And that's just in nature. So get out, get in the grass, look at the trees, look at the flowers, smell the flowers, look at the bugs, see what they're doing. It's a very fun and interesting and adventurous way to feel that richness and fullness in yourself. And the last thing, number 3, the last thing that you need to avoid to make sure that you're living a rich and full life is refusing to let go so that you can learn more. Now, as adults, we kind of forget that when we were children, we would graduate from 2nd grade, leave all our books there, and then go back the next year, 3rd grade, and get all new books. I mean, you even had to get new pencils and new supplies and new paper and folders and book bags, right? Everything was new. And in order to grow and learn and change, you had to get rid of things. I mean, even as children, we're growing, we grow out of our clothes. Like, we have to get rid of our old clothes so that we can get new clothes, so that they fit at new shoes. Like, you can't walk around in shoes that are too small. But as adults, we stop growing. We also stop the process of learning in a structured way. So you may be learning all the time and growing all the time, but what are you letting go of? Are you letting go of the things that no longer serve you? Are you letting go of the things that aren't loving and feeding you in a way that makes you feel really alive and happy? Think about it. What do you need to let go of? So a great exercise is to have a seat and really think about what's creating fullness and richness and happiness in your life, what allows you to slow down and enjoy it, and what feels chaotic. Like, where do you really feel confused, anxious, rushed, and just frazzled in your life? It might be certain people. It might be parts of your job. It may be your entire career altogether. It could be the way that your house is laid out. It could be the clothes that you're wearing that don't make you feel great about yourself. Or like comfortable even. Like, are you wearing clothes that aren't comfortable right now? Think about it. Can you be happier? Can you lead a richer and fuller life just by making your surroundings a little more comfortable? What can you remove so that you can learn and explore something new? It might mean getting rid of a bunch of stuff. It might mean learning some new tools, right? We're always learning, we're always growing. And it's kind of hard for people to accept, but there's a development that continues to happen throughout our lives. We're always learning new things. But that also means that we also need to leave the old books behind, right? We need to let go. So if you're not letting go, you're not actually able to absorb the richness and fullness that is right in front of you right now. And so again, those 3 things that you can avoid. Number 1, don't be afraid to take advice. Number 2, don't go too fast. Slow down, smell the flowers, enjoy nature, and absorb that greatness inside yourself. And number 3, don't hold on to things that have passed their due date, right? Let the things go that aren't teaching you, aren't serving you anymore, that aren't making you feel great, and accept the things that are making you feel really happy and wonderful. That way we can let go of the chaos, and then we can lead this really joyful and full life. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, friends. And now, the big announcement. I am starting a book club on Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And if you haven't read the book, it's amazing and life-changing, and basically talks you through how your mind is a factor in a lot of physical ailments and how that works. So what's interesting is that you can actually use those physical ailments that you have in your body, like say your knee hurts or say your hip hurts, then you can actually use those as triggers to work through some of the things that are your own problems. And then that drives you down a rabbit hole of exploring for yourself, what are you not seeing clearly, or what are you blocking yourself from? And it's fascinating. So we're going to do a book club on Stretchy TV over the course of a month. And I will come out with a little lecture just like this. And then we will talk in the discussions about it and have a Zoom meeting if appropriate. So it's a new book club on Stretchy TV on You Can Heal Your Life. And I hope you guys will join. There's information down below in the description box. So just click below, find that link, click there, and you can sign up. Okay? I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.